You want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. Today, we're talking 4 fragrances for life, niche edition. Welcome back everybody, Ash here with another video. So if it's your first time on the channel, don't forget to subscribe if you like fragrances. So each fragrance from this list is from a different brand. I try to choose one thing from each brand and something that I don't mind wearing on a regular basis. Also fragrances that I personally really like, so I kind of took mass appeal out of the picture. To be honest, I'm not choosing these based on what other people like or what you might like or what, attracts the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever, as far as the most complimented fragrances or ones that just smell good. I'm not going by that. I'm going by what I like. Don't blind buy any of these, you might regret it, and I don't want you to be upset with me because you took it as a recommendation. Nothing on this channel is that way. This is just what I like, so just roll with it, okay? So for each season, there's going to be an honorable mention, and then I'm going to tell you which fragrance I chose, alright? So the first season we're talking is summer. And fittingly so, since we're in summer, my honorable mention is going to be this guy right here, Pacific Rock Moss. So this fragrance is a really good, clean, slightly sweet, aquatic, mossy fragrance. It's kind of like a niche version of Acqua di Gio by Giorgio Armani, and I know that some people can kind of agree with that. I feel like it's a really good fragrance, but I also feel like it's going to get a lot of hype within the next couple of years or so. There's going to be more and more people having it in their collection. So if I were to choose something that I want to be a little more unique, I'm going to go with this one right here, which is from Tower Perfumes. It's called L'Air des Alpes Suisses. Alright, this is a fresh, slightly piney, exotic, slightly spiced ambergris fragrance, and oh my goodness, I mean, this is probably the most mass appealing fragrance on this list besides the honorable mention I just mentioned. This is just incredible. Like, this is, to me, this is for like a summer spring fragrance, this is groundbreaking. This came at number 2 on my top 10 summer fragrances for 2020 niche edition. This made number 2. Personally, I think this could be one of the best blind buys ever for a warmer weather type of fragrance. It does not mean you should go do it, but if you have no access to get this fragrance and you just really want to try it, I mean, maybe it'll be worth it. Even if you don't like it, someone else definitely will. You know what, it's kind of hard not to like. Just keep in mind that it's very, very unique, but still has a nice level of universal appeal to it. Now we're jumping into spring, and my honorable mention is this fragrance. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet, alright? But it's this one right here, Fragrance du Bois, and it's called Oud Bleu Intense. This is just one of the most spectacular fragrances I've ever smelled in my life. I'm going to go into more detail on this on a review. So my choice for spring would be this one right here. This is House of Matriarch Orca. Alright, I love the bottles. I have quite a few from this brand. I've actually experienced quite a lot of fragrances from this house, and basically you're getting the ambergris, you're getting honey, you're getting some spices in here. It's rather simple, but it's very, very gorgeous in the depth and natural complexity of the ambergris. So those other nuances, they really just complement the natural aspects of the ambergris. But what you're basically getting is ambergris, and it's a bit earthy. It's also a little resinous. It's a bit leathery. It's also airy and a little fresh. It's a little sweet, but also a little salty. It's got a lot of nuances going on, and it's a little strange when you first spray it if you're not used to what ambergris does, what natural amber does. This is 100% natural fragrance, by the way. This is one of my absolute favorite fragrances of all time. I'm not gonna go into a whole lot of detail on it, but I will do a review on this one day. The only catch on this fragrance is it doesn't last a very long time. The people who would like this would probably prefer it for fall rather than spring. Me personally, I love this when there's like a little bit of sun out and it's shining and it's a little warm but not like overbearing. I like that feeling of like smelling this fragrance when I'm, you know, a little bit hot, a little sweating. To me, this is magical. This is just incredible. Orca from House of Matriarch for my spring choice. Now for fall, I chose something that I don't really hear many people talk about, actually for both of these, the honorable mention as well, which I'm going to talk about right now. So this fragrance is from Tower Perfumes. I didn't put it in this list because I only wanted to have one fragrance from each brand in the list, so that was part of the other criteria. This is an honorable mention. I don't hear anybody talking about it. It's Lone Star Memories. Now, this is a relatively newer acquisition for me, and when you smell it, you're gonna think this is a very strange fragrance. For an eau de toilette, it has a pretty decent lasting power, and it's a bit strong, especially when you first spray it. But it's just a hint under, you know, overbearing. It's weird, but I love this. Like, a very personal kind of scent, you know? Something that maybe you just want to wear when you're at home, or like, you know, you want to be left alone. It does have a leather in here and some other nuances that are a little hard to describe. It has carrot seed, I believe, in here, so I kind of get that slightly vegetal carrot vibe. And there's some other stuff going on in here. Again, I have trouble even describing this one, but I like it a lot. It just unfortunately made the honorable mentions. So the one I did choose though was this guy by Liquide Imaginaire. It's called Telus, and I haven't even sprayed this, but I have sampled it. Alright, and to keep it simple, I know it's gonna sound controversial to some people, but I've tried it enough to know that this is very fitting to my personality. It's a powerful fragrance, but it's also very grounded. It's earthy, it's woody, it's a little rooty. It's not sweet at all. It just literally smells like the tree in all its parts, including the roots and the soil. It's a little hard to describe, but basically this is a bit of a daring fragrance, and at the same time it just has something about it that's somewhat familiar and you can kind of appreciate it. But the first impression that a lot of people might get with this fragrance is that it's rather mature, maybe a little weird. It's got an appeal to it and some wisdom. That's what I like about this fragrance. It's strength and wisdom in a bottle right here. I just feel like it's extremely fitting to my personality. Not necessarily just what I prefer, but I feel like that fragrance chose me, if it makes sense. Okay, it's really hard to describe. So we're gonna jump into winter. Try to make it short and sweet. All right, guys. So my honorable mention is from the brand Slumber House, and it's called Jeke or Jake or Jeek. This is, to me, the absolute best tobacco fragrance that's ever been made, that I've tried, obviously. In that it's also very dominant in tobacco. There's 3 different types of tobacco absolute in here. I don't know all the specifics. I'm gonna look it up and do a review on this one day. It was discontinued and they finally brought it back, so I think I want to get me another bottle of this while it's available. But it's just truly amazing. Like, it's that tobacco, it's a little smoky and not in a burning tobacco kind of way. I mean, it might have a little bit of ashiness, definitely some smokiness, but it also has, I believe it's called Lapsang Souchong tea. So it adds a bit of an aromatic and slightly calming nature to this fragrance to make it a bit more relaxing. It's not super sweet like a lot of other tobacco fragrances out there. It does have some sweetness, but it's toned down, you know. It's not like in your face sweet, but it is in your face. So that one made my honorable mentions because I just don't know if I can wear that daily. I mean, I personally would really enjoy it, but I think people around me, if they were around me often wearing that all the time, they might start to hate me. Not that I really care. It's I wear what I like, you know. If you don't like it, I'm not forcing you to like cling on to me. Guys, my choice for winter is going to be different than a lot of other people's picks. This fragrance, though, I've heard some people say that it shines more in the summer. Don't really hear a lot of mention about it. I've heard a couple of reviewers maybe talk about this, and a long time ago, I wanted to get it a long time ago, but it was sold out right after I had retried my sample. So the very first time I tried the sample, I didn't like it. Or I just didn't really think anything special of it. I was like, this is not for me, nothing special. But you know, after I heard about it, went back, tried it again. It grew on me, and I got really upset because like I was ready to buy it. Looked on the website, you know, within a week or so, and it was gone. But they finally came back with it. They brought it back, and this was like, you're talking almost 2 years later. I was so grateful that they brought it back, and I ended up going for it. And it's from the same brand, Slumber House, alright? This one is Sedan, and this is one of my absolute favorite fragrances. If I had to choose 5 fragrances for life, this would be one of them. The only catch to that is that, you know, they just stopped making it. Hopefully they bring it back again, and then it would be more fitting for this type of list. But I did buy myself a backup bottle at the same time that I got this one. So as soon as it came up, I asked them to reserve 2 bottles of this. I asked Josh, you know, the owner of Slumber House, to reserve 2 of these for me. And about 1.5 years later, he responded to me and that, hey, you know, it's available now, and he put me on the list, and he got them to me, and I was just ecstatic. Like, this is, guys and girls, be careful with this, okay? Don't tell me I didn't warn you, all right? Let me reiterate. Do not tell me that I did not warn you, okay? If you wear this, you have to be careful. This is very sexy. Again, some people say this is more suitable for summer or warmer weather, and maybe it does shine in that weather, but this is devastatingly sexy right here. You have to be careful with this. It's not the most elegant fragrance. It's rather playful and also very sexy. To me, this is just one of my absolute favorites ever to wear. It's very sweet. For my usual taste, I don't go for fragrances this sweet, but for what this does, it's incredible. Notes are not listed for this fragrance, but a lot of people get a certain type of fruit. We're talking strawberry or apple or cherry, something along the vibes of that. I kind of get predominantly strawberry, maybe with a bit of apple, maybe a touch of cherry, and then it's also got this kind of wine accord. At least that's what I get. But the most dominant part of this fragrance, in my opinion, is the rose. So this is a rose-based fragrance with a beautiful like red wine accord, I want to say. At least it gives that impression. And the fruits, like a strawberry fruit, right? So red rose, red wine, red strawberries. This is intoxicating. It does not really lean elegant, right? So this is not really something you'd want to wear to work on average. You could do it, you know, you could wear this to work, you could wear this wherever you want and be just fine. But you know, in this scenario where you're going out dancing, or you're, you know, at a bar or whatever, anything like that, or a club or a lounge, this is a very captivating fragrance that just gonna come off rather innocent at first and just candy sweet and, you know, a little floral, a little fruity, almost like a Bath and Body type of fragrance. But when you sit with it longer, you realize that this thing has some dark secrets behind it. This thing has some hidden mystery behind it, but this is my pick for winter. Guys, thank you so much for watching and making it all the way through this video. And if you have any other questions, definitely don't hesitate to drop them in the comment box below. I want to do my best to help with answering those questions. So I'm curious which 4 you would choose for your 4 fragrances for life niche edition. If you liked the video, don't forget to give me one of these. It'll really help out. If you haven't done so already, please feel free to subscribe to the channel, and you'll be notified of any future videos that I release by tapping that bell. If you think anyone else can benefit from this video, definitely feel free to share it. Saying bye is always the hardest part for me. Thank you guys again so much, and talk to you soon.